Is your relationship real or not? You know, I got to be honest, as a relationship coach, it still amazes the hell out of me the number of people who don't know whether or not the relationship that they're involved in is an actual working, productive relationship, or don't realize that the relationship they're in is actually not a relationship at all. So how do you know if your relationship is real or if your relation is, well, not what it should be? The most important thing to do in this conversation is to look at the root word of the word relationship, and that is relate, or how well people match or mirror one another. That's really important because that tells you whether or not the relationship, if you want to call it that you're involved in is going to be successful or if it's just going to fall flat on its face. So let's just go over a few key and very critical indicators that lets us know what kind of relationship that we've got. Now, once again, going back to that word relate. In other words, how two people more or less naturally mirror one another's presence when they're together in terms of their life values, in terms of likes and dislikes, preferences and things like that. Now, I'm not talking about, well, you know, he likes tennis and she doesn't, so, hey, that's a viable marker that says we should be together. No, I'm talking about things that are really important that actually drive the value of life. For example, religious proclivities. Things that you may or may not do as a profession that may or may not have an impact on how the other person might feel about you. For example, if you're a hitman and the other person doesn't like the fact that you go out at night killing people, that could be a really bad indicator for a relationship. To productively relate to one another really comes down to how two people decide what constitutes good treatment and behavior towards the other person. Another huge indicator that might suggest that you're in a real relationship is how much two people are okay with allowing each other to be themselves. This is another area that absolutely amazes me, that people don't realize that they may not be in an actual relationship because they don't like something that the other person does that's just normal, everyday things. They don't like the fact that the person liked certain foods, and they don't like that. They don't like the fact that a person, I even had one person tell me, well, I get upset with this person because they drive around in the daytime with their headlights on. Come on, really? Are you serious? But these are the types of things I'm talking about. I've been told about people who are really upset with their partners because of the type of clothes they wear, the type of music they listen to, the type of TV shows they like to watch. Things that ultimately have really nothing to do with good running, productive relationships, but these things will upset somebody inside of that union. So really, in a situation like that, do you actually have a true relationship? I venture to say no. If you can't be yourself in that situation with that person, then you really don't have an actual relationship because you're not truly relating to each other. Another big indicator that might say that, hey, you're in a great and productive, real relationship is time invested in one another. And I'm not talking about the volume of time that you invest, which that is very important, but I'm talking more about how you invest that time and what sacrifices you make in order to invest time in your partner. Making sacrifices here and there so that you can invest great quality time with your partner is kind of like, instead of taking your money down to the club and spending it there, instead of taking that same money and putting it into the bank. The payoff in the long run is going to be huge. Same thing with a relationship and time and how you invest that time. Another indicator that you might be in a truly honest to goodness and productive relationship is when you can respectfully but firmly say exactly what's on your mind without feeling afraid that you're going to get some kind of repercussion out of it. In a productive relationship, you should be able to say exactly what you're feeling. I'm not talking about name calling and being disrespectful and all that, but I am talking about whatever it is that's on your mind or weighing heavy in your heart, you should be able to convey it and share it with the other person without the fear that it's going to do some damage to the existing relationship. Another huge indicator that you're in a real relationship is when you can both trust one another when you're out of each other's sight. In other words, y'all ain't calling each other every 15, 20, 30 minutes to see where the other person is, to see what you're doing, to see who you might be with or anything like that, because you have trust. You have a reliability upon each other that says that your integrity is intact at all time, whether the person's standing there in front of you or whether they're out somewhere. And the final indicator that I want to share with you that's kind of connected to the last thing I just said is that in a real relationship, a truly productive relationship, two people will protect the commitment that they have in their partner against all comers and at all costs. They are not going to let anything come in between themselves and their partner. They're not going to allow anything to damage the legacy and the relationship that they have built with this other person. This actually kind of goes without saying in a lot of respects, but apparently a lot of people don't realize that the highest value asset that you have in a relationship is your loyalty. Well, that's all I wanted to share with you guys this afternoon. Be sure to share this video and pop that like button. And also, go down there and hit the subscribe button so that you become a member of my team and you're going to know every single time that I upload a fresh video. Also, be sure along those lines to hit the notification bell because you're going to get a little indicator that tells you that I've done so. Also, when you get an opportunity, go on over and show some love on my Patreon page. Again, my name is Dave Thomas III. This is Faked Out by Love, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again.